Gentlemen, let me ask you something directly. Have you ever found yourself wishing you could last longer during intimacy? Do you feel like your body rushes toward climax before you're ready, leaving you frustrated and your confidence shaken? What if I told you there's a simple, natural approach that could help you regain control, not through pills or expensive treatments, but through something you can start using at home today? I'm talking about natural oils. Not just any oils, but specific ones that work with your body's natural systems to improve blood flow, calm overactive nerves, and help you maintain better control over your erections and when you ejaculate. And here's what makes this even better. It's not just one oil. There are several powerful options, each with unique benefits that address different aspects of sexual performance. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly which oils work, why they work, and most importantly, how to use them properly to see real results. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system you can implement tonight. I'm Dr. Lila Romano. I've been a practicing urologist for over a decade, and in that time, I've worked with thousands of men who've struggled with premature ejaculation, erectile difficulties, and loss of sexual confidence. What I've learned is that natural methods, when applied correctly and consistently, can produce remarkable improvements. So let's dive into this together. Now, before we talk about specific oils, we need to understand why oils can be so effective in the first place. Most men think of oils purely as lubricants, something that just makes things slide more smoothly during sex or masturbation. But that understanding barely scratches the surface of what the right oils can actually do for your sexual performance. The truth is, certain natural oils are capable of penetrating far deeper than the surface of your skin. They're not just sitting there making things slippery. When you apply the right oil to the right areas, its molecular structure allows it to sink through multiple layers of tissue, reaching the small blood vessels, the smooth muscle fibers, and even the nerve networks that ordinary lotions and creams never touch. Once these oils penetrate to those deeper levels, several important things begin to happen. First, they help soften tissue that may have become stiff or less flexible with age. Second, they encourage tight muscles to relax, particularly the pelvic floor muscles that many men don't even realize are chronically tense. And third, they improve the flexibility and responsiveness of the tiny blood vessels that are essential for achieving and maintaining firm erections. But there's something else these oils do that's perhaps even more important for men struggling with premature ejaculation. As we age, the nerve endings in our genital region can become hypersensitive. This isn't something most men talk about, but it's extremely common. These nerves start firing signals to your brain more rapidly than they should, creating an overwhelming sense of urgency that makes it nearly impossible to slow down or maintain control. This is where natural oils become genuinely powerful. When applied correctly, they coat and soothe these overactive nerve endings. They create what I call a protective buffer. This isn't about numbing yourself or losing sensation. Instead, it's about slowing down that rapid-fire signaling just enough to give you space to breathe, to feel, and to maintain conscious control over your response. The sensations are still there and still pleasurable, but they're no longer overwhelming your system and pushing you toward ejaculation before you're ready. With that foundation in place, let's talk about the first oil I recommend to nearly every patient who comes to me with these concerns: castor oil. Castor oil is unlike most oils you've probably encountered. It's naturally thick, almost velvety in texture. When you pour it into your palm and rub your hands together to warm it, you can immediately feel its weight and richness. This isn't a light, slippery oil. It has substance, and that substance is part of what makes it so therapeutically effective. The power of castor oil comes from a compound called ricinoleic acid. This fatty acid has been extensively studied for its ability to improve circulation, reduce inflammation in tissues, and even promote healing in areas that have been stressed or damaged. When you apply castor oil to the perineum, that's the area of soft tissue between the base of your scrotum and your anus. It doesn't just sit on the surface. The ricinoleic acid penetrates deep into the pelvic region, reaching the networks of blood vessels, the layers of smooth muscle, and the nerve pathways that control your erections and ejaculatory response. What happens next is remarkable. The oil begins to work on multiple levels simultaneously. First, it targets the pelvic floor muscles. Many men walk around with chronic tension in this area without even knowing it. That tension restricts blood flow into the penis and creates a kind of background stress that makes premature ejaculation more likely. Castor oil helps release that tension, allowing those muscles to soften and relax. Second, castor oil has a calming effect on hypersensitive nerves. Remember what I said earlier about nerves firing too rapidly? Castor oil soothes those nerve endings, creating a sense of steadiness and control. Instead of feeling like your body is racing toward orgasm, you feel grounded, calm, and in command of your responses. Third, and this is crucial for erectile function, castor oil nourishes the blood vessels themselves. It encourages them to dilate, to open up and allow more oxygen-rich blood to flow into the erectile tissue of your penis. The result is not only better control over ejaculation, but also firmer, more reliable erections. Many of my patients tell me that the first time they use castor oil, they notice an immediate difference. Within just a few minutes of massage, they feel warmth spreading through their pelvis. But it's not just physical warmth. There's also a mental shift, a sense of reassurance, almost like their body is finally cooperating with them instead of working against them. And here's the most important part. With consistent use, these benefits become lasting. Your body begins to adapt. The relaxation response deepens. Your nerves learn to respond more calmly. Your blood vessels become more flexible and responsive. What starts as a simple oil massage becomes a powerful tool for retraining your sexual response. Now, the second oil I want to discuss is quite different from castor oil, and that's coconut oil. Where castor oil is thick and heavy, coconut oil is light, smooth, and silky. You've probably seen it in your kitchen or bathroom. It's become incredibly popular for cooking and skincare. But what many men don't realize is that coconut oil is also one of the safest and most effective options for personal application during intimate moments. One of coconut oil's greatest strengths is its natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. This makes it ideal for use on sensitive areas. You don't have to worry about irritation or infection. Coconut oil actually helps protect the skin and keep it healthy. Unlike castor oil, which penetrates deeply, coconut oil tends to stay closer to the surface of your skin. It forms a protective layer, and this is exactly why it's so valuable for men dealing with heightened sensitivity in that area. If you find that sensations become overwhelming quickly, or that control becomes difficult during intimate activity, coconut oil can make a significant difference. It acts like a cushion, moderating the intensity without eliminating pleasure. Instead of those rapid progressions that move you toward completion before you're ready, coconut oil smooths the experience. It gives you more time, more control, and more ability to stay present and enjoy what's happening. Coconut oil also excels at hydration. It naturally moisturizes your skin, keeping tissue in the penis and perineum soft, supple, and comfortable. Men who use it regularly often notice reduced dryness, less irritation, and an overall improvement in skin quality. For men who want something gentle, pleasant, and versatile, coconut oil is an excellent choice. It's affordable, easy to find, and remarkably effective when used consistently. The third oil on my list is one that's probably already sitting in your kitchen right now, olive oil. We hear a lot about olive oil being heart healthy, and there's solid science behind that reputation. But what's good for your heart is also good for overall circulation. The same properties that keep your cardiovascular system strong also support healthy blood flow throughout your body. Olive oil is rich in antioxidants, particularly vitamin E. These antioxidants protect your tissues and help keep your blood vessels flexible and elastic. Why does that matter? Because proper function requires your blood vessels to expand efficiently and deliver blood flow to areas like the penis. If those vessels become less flexible, function can be compromised. Olive oil helps maintain that flexibility. When massaged into your perineum or applied to the penis, it works to support circulation beneath the skin's surface. It's not an immediate transformation, but with regular application, many men report noticing improvements in both response and consistency over time. I often recommend olive oil to men who are just beginning to experiment with natural methods. It's mild, it's safe, it's inexpensive, and it's surprisingly effective. Plus, because it's something you likely already have at home, there's no barrier to getting started today. Now let's talk about the fourth oil, and this one is truly special: almond oil. If castor oil is the deep therapeutic worker, coconut oil the gentle protector, and olive oil the circulation supporter, then almond oil is the calming companion. This oil is light and silky, with a texture that absorbs quickly into your skin without leaving any heavy or sticky residue behind. Almond oil is particularly rich in vitamin E and magnesium. Magnesium plays a direct role in muscle relaxation and healthy nerve function, which makes almond oil especially valuable for men who struggle with overactive nerves and premature ejaculation. Here's something most men don't realize: hypersensitivity isn't always about being too mentally excited or too eager. Often, it's a physical issue. Your nerve endings are simply firing too fast, sending signals to your brain at a rate that makes control nearly impossible. Almond oil helps soothe and quiet those nerve endings. When you massage almond oil into your perineum or around the base and shaft of your penis, it creates a calming effect that spreads through the tissue. Instead of that frantic rush toward orgasm, you experience balance and steadiness. Your body learns to slow down naturally. Many men who incorporate almond oil into their routine report not just better control over ejaculation, but also a deeper overall sense of ease during sex. The experience becomes more relaxed, more enjoyable, and more connected. I often call almond oil the oil of calm because that's exactly what it brings to your intimate moments. Now that you understand what each oil does, let's talk about how to actually use them. Because the truth is, the application method matters just as much as which oil you choose. Before you begin, take a moment to set the scene. This isn't about rushing through a mechanical process. Create an environment where you can truly relax. Maybe you dim the lights in your bedroom. Maybe you put on some soft music or ensure you have complete privacy. Whatever helps you feel at ease, do that. When your mind is calm, your body responds far more effectively. Start by washing your hands thoroughly and ensuring the area you'll be massaging is clean. This simple step transforms the experience from something hurried into an intentional ritual. You're preparing yourself, both physically and mentally. Next, pour a small amount of your chosen oil into your palm. You don't need much. About the size of a dime is usually sufficient, though you can always add more if needed. Rub your hands together gently, warming the oil. This warming step is important because warm oil absorbs more quickly and feels more natural against your skin. Now, here's where the real technique comes in. Focus your attention on the perineum. This area, that soft space between your scrotum and anus, is essentially the control center for your body's response during intimate moments. It may feel unusual at first to give this area so much attention, but once you understand its importance, you'll see why it's worth the focus. Place your fingertips on your perineum and begin with slow, gentle circular motions. Start with light pressure, just enough to make contact and spread the oil. As you continue these circles for several minutes, you'll likely begin to feel sensations. Maybe warmth, maybe a slight tingling. Some men describe it as a heaviness or tension releasing from deep in their pelvis. All of these are positive signs that circulation is opening, nerves are calming, and muscles are beginning to let go. After about 3 to 5 minutes, you can gradually increase the pressure. Use your thumb or the heel of your hand to apply slightly firmer pressure. Vary your movements, sometimes circular, sometimes in gentle strokes moving from back to front. You're essentially loosening tension that may have been building in this area for years. I recommend spending at least 5 minutes on this massage, but if you have time, go longer. 7 to 10 minutes is ideal. This isn't wasted time. Every minute you spend is teaching your body a new response pattern, building muscle memory, and conditioning your nervous system to react with more control. Once the oil has been thoroughly absorbed and your pelvis feels warm and relaxed, you can proceed with whatever comes next. This is when most men notice the real difference. Instead of that immediate rush, you'll feel steadier, calmer, more in control of how your body responds. With practice and consistency, this becomes more than just an effect of the oil. It becomes a learned behavior. Your body remembers how to maintain control. Your nerves learn to fire at a healthier pace. Function in the penis becomes more reliable and your confidence grows naturally. Now, take a moment and imagine yourself 3 weeks from today. You've been consistent with this oil routine. You've given yourself just 5 to 10 minutes before intimate moments or personal time. You sit down, apply your chosen oil, and instead of feeling anxious or worried about losing control, you feel calm, prepared, and confident. You're no longer racing through the experience. You're not constantly fighting against your own body. Instead, you feel grounded, steady, and genuinely in charge of what happens. That shift is profound. It changes not just what happens in the bedroom, but how you carry yourself throughout your day. Confidence in this area of your life often spills over into every other area. You walk a little taller. You feel more at ease in your relationship. You look forward to those moments instead of dreading them. And your partner notices too. When you're relaxed and assured, the connection between you deepens. Everything becomes more playful, more exploratory, more satisfying for both of you. But I want to be clear about something important. While these oils are powerful tools, they work best when combined with daily habits that support your overall health in this area. Let me share 3 simple practices that will amplify everything we've discussed. First, hydration. Your blood is made up of about 80% water, and proper function depends entirely on blood flow. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more sluggish. Your vessels constrict. Achieving firmness becomes harder, and maintaining it becomes a struggle. The solution is simple. Drink water consistently throughout your day. Keep a bottle with you. Sip regularly. Think of every drink as fuel for better performance. Second, movement and stretching, particularly in your hips and lower back. These areas are the gateway for blood flow into your pelvis. When your hips are tight and your lower back is stiff, you're literally restricting the pathways that blood needs to travel to support function in the penis. Spend just a few minutes each day doing gentle stretches. Pull your knees toward your chest while lying on your back. Rotate your hips in slow circles. Do some bodyweight squats. These simple movements can dramatically improve circulation into your pelvic region. Third, reduce the amount of time you spend sitting. When you sit for hours at a time, you're compressing the very vessels and nerves we're trying to support with these oils. That constant pressure weakens circulation and can actually increase sensitivity concerns. Break up long periods of sitting by standing up at least once every hour. Take a short walk. Stretch your legs. Even just 2 minutes of movement can prevent congestion from building up in your pelvis. When you combine these 3 habits with your oil routine, you're not just using a quick trick. You're building a complete lifestyle system that supports lasting improvements in performance, quality, and control. Before we wrap up, I want to address a few common mistakes I see men make when they first start using oils. The first mistake is using too much oil at once. More isn't always better. A small amount, properly warmed and thoroughly massaged, is far more effective than drowning the area in oil. Start with a dime-sized amount and add more only if needed. The second mistake is rushing. If you're trying to massage the oil in for just 30 seconds before moving on, you're not giving your body time to respond. The benefits come from sustained, patient application. 5 minutes minimum, but longer is better. The third mistake is inconsistency. Using the oil once and expecting permanent results just doesn't work. Your body needs time to adapt and learn new patterns. Commit to using your chosen oil at least 3 to 4 times per week for a full month before judging the results. The fourth mistake is using poor quality oils. Not all oils are created equal. Look for cold-pressed, organic options whenever possible. Cheap, heavily processed oils won't give you the same benefits. And finally, some men ignore what their body is telling them. If you feel discomfort or irritation, stop and try a different oil. Everyone's skin is different, and what works beautifully for one man might not suit another. Let me give you a realistic timeline of what to expect as you begin this practice. In the first week, you're getting comfortable with the routine. You're learning how the oil feels, where to apply pressure, and how your body initially responds. You might notice some immediate sensations of warmth and relaxation, but the real changes are just beginning. By week 2, you'll likely start noticing increased calmness during stimulation. You're not quite where you want to be yet, but there's a subtle improvement in control. Your erections might feel slightly firmer. Weeks 3 and 4 are where most men experience significant breakthroughs. Control over ejaculation noticeably improves. The panic and urgency that used to dominate your experience starts to fade. Confidence begins building naturally. Long-term, with continued use over months, these changes become permanent adaptations. Your body has genuinely relearned how to respond. The nervous system has been retrained. Blood flow has improved. You're not dependent on the oil anymore, though many men continue using it simply because it enhances their experience. Gentlemen, what we've covered today isn't about gimmicks or shortcuts. This is about supporting your body's natural capacity for sexual health using safe, effective, time-tested methods. Castor oil for deep therapeutic benefits. Coconut oil for gentle protection and sensitivity management. Olive oil for circulation support. Almond oil for nerve calming and relaxation. Each offers something unique and valuable. Together, these oils give you real tools for lasting longer, maintaining firmer erections, and enjoying intimacy without fear or pressure. Combined with proper hydration, regular movement, and consistent application, you have everything you need to restore sexual confidence naturally. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe to this channel. Every day, I share practical, science-based guidance to help men improve their health, vitality, and quality of life. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, and I'll see you in the next video.